Hello internet, hello and welcome to today's video. Today I will try to explain to you how to play Warbeast, one of my own personal favorite heroes. I think you guys already know that I'm kind of competent when it comes down to Warbeast, so let's just get started right away. As for the skill build, it's pretty straightforward. You want to start off with the Hellhounds, obviously, and then get the Primal Rage secondary. And then you just go from there, Hellhounds, Primal Range, Hellhounds, Primal Rage, Hellhounds, the ultimate whenever possible, and max out the Warcry once you finish the other two. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, pretty effective. Warbeast is a jungler. It's that simple. You don't play this guy in a lane. It's possible and it's not even terrible, but Warbeast is a jungler, and we are going to only talk about his jungling. Now, I personally like to do this, but it's just something to kind of troll with. It works every blue moon, if you're lucky. Usually it doesn't. But you can do it if you want to. So, you spawn the Hellhounds. Once you walked to the enemy side of the map, you spawn the Hellhounds there. You walk back to the well and send the Hellhounds into the enemy base and try to kill their courier. The lower you are in skill rating, the more likely this is to work. And if it works, it's great, it's very fun. And even if it doesn't work, it's not that big of a deal. Usually the enemy isn't around to get any experience or gold, so you don't have to worry about that. As for jungling, you want to wait in the well until the 5-second mark. You then spawn your Hellhounds and wait for your mana to regenerate, and then you go into the jungle. This will allow you to take out the easy camp without having to worry about using any mana, and you will be able to start with a full mana pool on the second camp you're going to. In the clip I'm playing in the background, I ignore one of the camps because I assume it's blocked until the 6-minute mark. As you can see in those clips, I jungle much more efficiently on the Hellbound side. This is common. I personally like jungling on the Hellbound side a lot more. It's just the way the jungle is set up. It's much easier to get good farm. It's much easier to jungle. It's overall just more effective. Personally, I feel like the hero is better used on the Hellbound side than on a Legion. This doesn't mean he's bad, by no means. It's just that the way the Legion jungle is set up is suboptimal. Simply because you can't circle around like you can on the Hellbound side. You instead have to walk a lot from place to place because of the way it's hard camp, easy camp, hard camp, medium camp, and you really don't want to fight those hard camps at level 1. Another thing with Warbeast jungling is that he's very dependent on the camps. If you get a lot of Catman champions, you are screwed, because you won't be able to take them out early on. If, however, you get a lot of skeletons, minotaurs, basically everything else, as long as you don't get Catmans, you're going to be fine. However, if you get a lot of Catmans, that's not great. It's really not. Now, something to note is, this is not a realistic scenario. In many games, you get either ganked or you gank yourself. Once you reach level 6 with Warbeast, you want to go and gank. It's very important that you get the additional boost from the kills. Sometimes you can even manage to snatch a kill without the ultimate, though that's kind of rare. Once you got your Abyssal Skull, it's also quite reasonable to start stacking before you kill the camps, because you can now very easily do so. The thing about Warbeast is very similar to Legionnaire, that he starts off very slow in the jungle. That once you get a few levels and items, he just takes off like a rocket and beats everything if it comes down to farming. It's amazing, it really is. Do not worry if you are only at 200 GPM early on. That's very common on that hero. Again, he starts off slow, so don't worry about that. Once you got your Abyssal, it's also very reasonable to start pushing. As for items, you want to start off with 4 mana potions, a Logger's Hatchet and a Guardian Ring. You then build the Guardian Ring into an Abyssal Skull as fast as possible and get your Steam Boots afterwards. Steam Boots are very useful since you can swap them to Intelligence to have more mana when you are using your Hellhounds to overall just have more mana. That's all it is about. I then like to go for the Bulwark next. This allows you to put out tons and tons of damage early on and push like a god. From then you got multiple choices. Depending on the lineup, you might want to go for either the Shieldbreaker, Insanitarius, Demonic or Shrunken Head. If you're going up against a very magic heavy lineup, I definitely recommend getting the Shrunken Head first. If you plan on pushing a lot with your team, get the Demonic. If you need more single target damage, get the Shieldbreaker. And if you are a man, you get Insanitarius. Late game? Well, get whatever you need. There are many choices. The Savage Mace is not bad. If you got a Demonic, might as well go for the Basher. Why not? If you haven't picked up a Shieldbreaker, well, get Lifesteal. Even more Lifesteal. There's never enough Lifesteal. And if you really need to tank up after you got the Demonic, get the Heart. There are so many choices to go for. If it's necessary, you might as well go for a Hellflower, a Sheepstick. You never know. Sometimes even going for the Puzzle Box isn't the worst choice. Talking about Puzzle Box, I just quickly have to mention this build. This is more of a troll style. I personally am not the biggest fan of it, but some players like to go with this. It's not bad, it works, but it's just not good in my opinion. Basically, you get the Whispering Helm, Abyssal, Demonic, and Puzzle Box level 3, and just kind of go backdoor push style. It's also very effective during team fights, but it's not as good as just a regular carry Warbeast. I don't think it is. I just don't think that it's also effective. So, that's the thing. It's not worthy. It definitely is, but that's about it. Don't get it. I like the other build more. Maybe try it once. It's fun. It's definitely fun. Not denying that. And let's finish this off with just some tips on Warbeast. Warbeast is a very push-heavy hero, so once you get your Abyssal, start pushing. If you push a lot, you will easily be able to get 500, 600 GPM every single game and destroy your enemy. The biggest problem Warbeast has is mobility. As soon as his ultimate runs out, he really can't do anything to stop the enemy from just running away. He doesn't have a slow, he doesn't have a stun. This requires a good team coordination to make Warbeast effective. But if you can get like a Magnus, Bubbles on your team, that's great. Warbeast will be able to wreck faces. Please use your ultimate to gank whenever possible during the early game. With the Wolfers and the ultimate at level 6, you go gank your side lane. They don't stand a chance. Not at all. They will just get destroyed if you do it well. So, please gank. It's very important. Two heroes that are very noteworthy, if we are talking about Warbeast, would be Bubbles and Glacius. Glacius in your team is amazing because you don't have to buy mana potions through the course of the game to stack up your mana again. Bubbles is amazing because you can send him into the solo lane you have because, well, you got the jungler. And his ultimate is just crazy good coupled with Warbeast's ultimate. Bubbles just locks them down, keeps them in place, Warbeast comes rushing in and just tears them a new one. Warbeast does not carry very hard. He can carry, but just the fact that he lacks so much mobility shuts him down quite a bit. You definitely should try to finish the game early and not rely on this guy as a late game carry. Any other true late game carry is just gonna out carry him, so please keep that in mind. Warbeast is one of the best heroes in the game. Please do not believe players telling you that this hero is bad. He's not. He's amazing. Play him. Try him. Try going for the build I just told you. It's amazing. It really works. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Maybe leave a favorite if you enjoyed it that much. But you really don't have to. Anyways, leave a comment about what you want me to talk about next. I'm probably gonna talk about tanks in a soon upcoming video. Tomorrow we will have a not quite daily. Go like my Facebook page and join my clan. Clan MNI is open for everybody. But I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.